Thank you so much for tuning in today. And Let's Talk World is all about empowering, inspiring other people. Well, all of the shows that we have on social media shows are all about inspiring, entertaining you guys, or give you some informative information. I am just gonna go ahead and wipe my eyeglasses with my clothes. And just like what I was telling Rand earlier, is we are actually a social media. We do anything we want. We're not a professional CBS, CNN, and Fox News, or we are just social media shows, and we appreciate all those people who interact and also view us and share and like our shows. And Today I am featuring the handsome Mr. Rand Allen. Rand Allen is a Renaissance man, comic MacGyver, street shaman, number one best-selling author of spiritual self-help stories, sci-fi enthusiast, and enthusiast, and help me with
Enthusiast.
enthusiast.
It's hard.
See, I'm Filipino, so I need to um do something with my tongue. Independent researcher, public speaker, Jedi mastery life coach, Reiki master of 9 styles of Reiki, who hails from the Woodstock, Kingston area of upstate New York. My goodness, that is pretty much good resume right there, huh?
It's been a ride.
Oh, thank you
It's
so
been
much.
fun.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Rand, for
Thanks for having me.
gracing my show. And thank you so much, JC. And let me just actually shout out to all the people just joined me. Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and use. Oh my God, I'm getting old. Can you imagine that? Um, Costner Mansor, Daniel Carroll, Mary Harlow, Ryan Booth, Sico Miguel. Wow. These are brand new watchers. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys can learn something about Mr. Rand here, what he does, how he inspires the people around planet Earth. And he is a Reiki master, actually. He's a Jedi Mastery Life Coach. I want to start with that. So, what is that all about?
Well, I teach a class on how to channel your inner Jedi. And the first thing I say in the class is we don't need to go look for it because it's already in there. Everyone already has a Jedi within them. We have inherent gifts and abilities, but they're subtle because our subconscious is actually what's wielding them. And it's when you start to become aware of them and you realize that you have them that you can actually consciously start to embrace them and be empowered with them and actually start to use them in the real world. And when you hear stories of other people and the things that they do, I see the people in the class and I see them start to smile because they realize that they were already doing that too. They just didn't realize it yet. And then that's that magical moment when they realize that they too can actually start to access their kind of hidden gifts and abilities or your Jedi skills, like Star Wars likes to show us. It parallels.
So tell us, I understand what you're saying. Discovering your ability, because everybody actually has the ability, has the power. We just have to know how to use it.
Exactly.
So what is Jedi means? Because when I think about Jedi, it's all about like you know what I mean?
Well, it's I mean everyone's very everyone likes the Star Wars movies, and the whole Jedi premise is something that's already out there and in their mindset, so it's an easy thing to get them excited about, and it's already relatable. So, when I say that you have gifts, and then you relate it to a Jedi, it kind of makes people smile because it's more comfortable.
So the Jedi is like a skills.
Well,
Or
if you remember,
is skills is Jedi?
if you remember Star Wars, the Jedi's always had these little gifts where they could actually like wave their hand and say these are not the droids you're looking for. Or they could actually move things or unlock locks, or in the real world, you can actually move traffic around so that it's more convenient for you to drive. You can change street lights. You can get parking spaces, and most people have been doing that
Is
for
that
years.
something like telekinetic? No.
It's frequency, because like Tesla and many of the quantum physicists say everything is energy and frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the one of the best frequency transmitters and receivers on the planet?
Mm-hmm.
The human brain. So if we believe we can, it's basically that whole thing about intent. If you believe you can, suddenly now you actually can start to affect the world around you. Now granted, we can't fly and do things like that, but I actually feel that eventually we will embrace
We will fly?
our DNA. No, I can't. But I have subtle gifts that when people hang out with me for a little bit of time, they suddenly realize, okay, you are different. You are doing something a little bit off, like, because I'm affecting the energy of the reality that I'm in with my energy. And there's a difference. It's just living your life as opposed to living your life in an energetic world with an energetic mindset, knowing that you can subtly affect the energies around you. And when you start to live that life and the energies around you start to be affected, you get that little smile, like, okay, this is really cool. So,
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's a subtle thing.
Who
but
doesn't want to fly?
that's down the road. Don't be jumping off any rooftops anytime soon. But I have
And
a
make
feeling.
sure and make sure that you know for sure you're certain that you can fly before jump off from
Well,
the
baby
roof.
steps. Let's start with other things like
Baby
moving traffic around and changing street lights and getting the spaces. Those are actually some of the skills or exercises that I encourage people to do to use their ability to affect the energies around them on a daily basis. Because the more you do it, and that's the one thing that wasn't quite accurate about Star Wars is they implied you had to be born special to access the Force. That's the only thing that was really wrong, because the reality is anyone can access the Force or the energies around us and start to affect their world. You don't have to be born special. All you have to do is become aware and start to practice. And believe me,
Oh, I'm gonna
I've
start.
taught many people or just help them in the process of their awareness of this hidden
Talent, hidden gift.
Exactly, this hidden gift, this hidden awesomeness that's hidden inside all of us. And once you start playing with it, it gets addicting, and you want to keep doing it more, and then you get better at it. So then you realize that you can do so much more. And it's interesting. Years ago, I was guided by spirit to create what I called an ascension group, where I was kind of like a mastermind circle, except that I wanted to do it with 10 people for 10 weeks that felt that they had some kind of a gift that they wanted to embrace, and also have a safe space where they could openly, freely talk about that gift and not feel like they were, being judged. And so I put that out there at some potlucks and meditation groups, and it wasn't long before I quickly had 10 members, and it went for a year and a half. And we met every single week because everyone was so excited. And the idea is after you really embraced and empowered your own gift, you would actually then I encourage each member to actually take a night where they would actually somewhat teach, where they would talk about their gifts, because everyone's gifts were different. And that was so wild about the whole group. But the really cool part is once you have one gift, you have the ability to have all the gifts. So the idea
Right?
is now that I've
I felt
embraced
that way. I felt like I'm very gifted. I
course
felt
you
like
are.
I felt like talking about you start practicing it to get better of your gift. I'm feeling like I believe I'm gonna start practicing flying. Just kidding.
but as you once you kind of really relax into the process, and you're really starting to empower your gift, the really cool thing towards the end is the idea of the fact that, well, if you've got one, you can have more. So okay, why can't I clone yours and you clone mine? So in other words, walk into the group with almost owning the fact you have one gift, but walking out with hopefully 9 more, right? Because once you realize you can do something, that opens the floodgates to, okay, I can do so much more.
I love that.
So
I think that's very inspiring, Rand, because especially a lot of people who doesn't have they are discouraged of so much things, and they thought that they are less than everybody else. It is part of our mentality and our brain. What can we do? How can we think further? That is actually the
Oh,
same thing with finding out your ability, your gift, because everybody, like what you said earlier, we everybody has different gifts, and it's really good to share your gift. That's cloning that you're talking about. It's not cloning technically, it is sharing it so that
yeah,
people
exactly.
can.
It's sharing it by saying, okay, I have this energy resonance, and I want to share that resonance with you. So now you have it. It's almost like when one Reiki master creates, another Reiki practitioner, who then becomes a Reiki master, who creates another Reiki master, and so on. It's like a loving sharing of energy. So, and yes, you're so right that sometimes we're our own worst enemy in our beliefs or our disbeliefs, because we don't believe we can, so we don't know we can, so we don't actually do. But
Mm-hmm.
these avatars are amazing,
I love
and we're
that. I
only
love
just
that.
starting to figure out what's hidden inside of them.
I love the choice of words that you're using. You're totally like a sci-fi, sci-fi fan,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
that's my wheelhouse. That's what
yeah, the reason why I have Mr. Rand Allen today, he actually commented on one of my conspiracy theory about robots. And you're talking about cloning, and the thing that running in my head is that, what is the name of the surrogates? The surrogates.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was an interesting
that's
movie.
where he actually commented on my post. That's why he's
Yeah.
here right now. So, anyways, talking about going back to Reiki, how long have you been doing this, and are you actually coaching here in Vegas?
Yes, I was mastered in 1999. I'd taken it for 3 years, a year level, and then I was mastered for the first time in Usui. It's pronounced differently depending on. That's the original style.
Depending on your
I was
accent.
so I was attuned to that in 1999. And then I took it several times over to make sure that I really owned it. I actually took it 5 times total, and then I started meeting other Reiki masters and started trading attunements. And before I knew it, I met other masters who had other styles of Reiki, and we started trading off to and mastering each other in styles that we didn't have, so that we would just raise our vibration. And it's been an amazing, amazing, blessed journey. I've created
So, is there
many
any
Reiki
levels?
masters, and it's an honor to be a part of their process,
Nice.
because I also kind of in my attunements, and I asked them beforehand if they don't mind a little extra. I was like, while I'm in there doing the attunement, I'll let their subconscious know that it's time to let the gifts out. It's time to show the conscious mind what you're truly capable of, so because I even noticed that even in the beginning, before I did that people who got attuned to Reiki would start to act a little kind of Jedi-ish. They started kind of embracing their powers, even without being a conscious told that or awareness of it. So then I actually embraced it and would say, hey, if you don't mind, and you put that bug in their ears, so now they're expecting it and they're looking for it, which is really the key to it. Anyways, so I added that into my attunements, and got really, really good responses when I did so.
That's amazing.
So
I don't know. I'm trying to remember the title of this series TV show about these four kids. They are in jail, and they have extra powers. Now I'm trying to remember these young kids. Yeah. Well, my daughter and I, it's really cool. But they have an extra power. They're just like a regular kids, and then it's amazing. No, I kind of connecting of what you're saying, that extra power. But anyways, let me ask you this: it's Reiki. Do you have a bad Reiki and good Reiki kind of thing? Like, I'm just trying to understand what Reiki is all about, because I had a friend, not really friend. I met this lady who's doing Reiki,
okay.
and for a reason, it's just actually scares me. That it just scares me. I'm not gonna say this. Can I say this? Can I say really what is my
Sure.
opinion
No,
about
yeah.
it? I felt
Sorry.
like uh, when I hear the Reiki from her, I felt like it's like evil spirits.
Do you think that was just her or Reiki in general?
Um, the
Because
way, okay, the way she actually explained it, um, where the way she act and the way it's different how I felt for you when you were talking about Reiki. So I don't know. That's why I ask you: is it that there's a bad and there's a good, or they're just in general they're all the same?
well, it's. I mean, I would think it's all good. It's you're channeling energy to. You're affecting your energetic resonance and frequency, and then it affects my aura. And then as I get close to you and put my hands in your aura or even touch you, I'm affecting your energetic field and your aura. And hopefully, because I'm using intent to control mine, and actually
Mm-hmm.
also I'm drawing up neutral yet very positive energy from Mother Earth, so I'm using that energy to help stabilize and cleanse your chakras and your auric field and your energy so that you can find homeostasis and you can find balance. And a lot of times that's all most people need to start to heal or to relieve pain is they're just totally out of energetic balance. So that's where Reiki's really good. And you don't want to take their negative energy into you. You just want to let it go back to Mother Earth like a flow. Um, and some people, a good analogy is all the mechanics out there know if you buy a car battery,
Mm-hmm.
a big, strong, brand new car battery, and you accidentally leave it on the ground
Mm-hmm.
or on concrete for a few days,
Mm-hmm.
it's bone dead. Mother Earth will draw the energy out of it, which proves that there's an energetic energy happening, a transfer. So yes, we're a part of a much bigger, amazing energetic field. The human body resonates or is supposed to resonate at the same exact resonance as the Earth itself, which is the Schumann resonance. Of course, with all these electronics and this EMF pollution,
Mm-hmm.
we don't quite resonate at the same frequency as Mother Earth, and that's why there's a huge movement called grounding or earthing, where you take your shoes off and you go, and like you have shorts and you go sit in the grass or you walk barefoot on the ground, and that's you equalize your
I
energy
love
to Mother
walking
Earth.
barefoot. Yeah,
and
barefoot on the
and
ground.
many people will report significant health benefits from doing 15 minutes of grounding a day.
I think I believe that. I totally 100% believing in walking, walking barefoot on the ground. I always does that when I go to my car
Sure.
because it feels good. It really feels good. Try it, guys. It's really feels good. That's why walking in the sand is literally a health thing. It's good
Oh
for
yeah,
your
it's
body.
therapeutic. It just
Is
feels so good and
Yeah,
relaxing.
it is amazing.
Builds the calves too.
When did you start? When did you realize that you want to do Reiki, and what actually is your revelation? Why you started Reiki?
That's an interesting story. I was actually, of course, I grew up in the Kingston Woodstock area. I was in the Bearsville Theater in Woodstock, and I was seeing a band called Rusted Root. It's like bohemian type tribal rock band, and I was by myself and standing in the back, and all of a sudden this girl jumps in front of me all bubbly and says, "Hi, I'm Melissa." I was like, "Hi," and then she goes, "Do you know what Reiki is?" I was like, "Yeah, I've heard of it." She goes, "Well, you're meant to be a Reiki master, and I'm going to teach you." I'm like, it's like, who is this crazy woman? So, um,
So did you?
and I
Did
says,
you?
"Well,"
Is it the girl
oh, I
that?
said, "Oh, what's that going to cost me?" She goes, "Oh no, my spirit guides are doing backflips." She says, "You have no idea what's in store for you, but
What
you are
is
so."
backflips?
Backflips, it's like jumping up backwards. It's like they're really excited.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
okay.
her spirit guides were really excited, and she's like, "No, I'm going to teach you for free because you have a destiny. You're meant to be a Reiki master." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
So it's so wild that my journey was started by this woman introducing herself to me, and actually, I offered to pay her because she said she wasn't going to charge me, but when I realized the amazingness of what she was giving me, I offered to pay her, and she's like, "No, no, you don't understand. This needs to be done because of what you're going to be in the future." And it's interesting that now I'm turning around and I'm turning people into Jedi and all this Reiki work. But um, So I ended up like doing computer work for her whenever she needed it. You know, I helped her out whatever I could because it took a year a level back then. You know, Reiki Master's 3 levels, and it took 3 years to get there. Where these days people want it in 3 weeks. You know, they're like you retune them level 1, and a week later, 2 weeks later, they're like, I'm ready for level 2, and I'm like, well, draw the Choku Ray, which is the symbol for level 1 that you envision to activate the energy, and they go, draw what? And I'm just like, okay, go away. You're not worthy, you know, meaning you haven't done any work whatsoever, but you want to be level 2. But yeah, Reiki it's a, you know, there's actually many cultures who have energy healing with their hands. They have different names for it, like pranic healing, and I think there's another one that's just called hands-on healing. So, but Reiki is a Japanese version of it.
Oh.
And it's very powerful. And even if it wasn't, with all the millions of people who do Reiki and envision these symbols and envision the power behind them, we have created the power whether it was there or not. So it's impossible that it isn't amazingly powerful. So
Okay.
and it's funny because now they have actual, you know, the technology is caught up because now they can look at my aura with certain electronic photography equipment and see when I get in the mindset, my aura will significantly change, and then they can see your aura, and then when I get near you, very near you with my intention, I will actually affect your aura. So it's now there's science that's somewhat validating the fact that Reiki.
Let's go on break really quick.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
All right, let's do this 60 seconds or less. We're all in the same situation right now at the same time. But it's only the ones who's doing the work that's going to come out of this thing a whole lot better than what they were before this work. Now, what does that mean, do the work? That means whatever it takes to become physically and mentally stronger every day. You need to be going to bed tired physically and mentally. That's how you know you're doing the work. What do you need to do to work? I don't care. Do whatever it takes. You know what? Do some push-ups. No, don't just do some push-ups. Do some push-ups with some correct form, going all the way down to the ground, not your elbows sticking out. Learn how to do that. I guarantee you learn how to do some push-ups and some squats with correct form, you'll be physically tired and stronger. Learn how to do that. Let's go. Get physically tired, baby. Let's go right now.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World
Social media shows network were initiated in 2017. Since then, our founder Maria Pureza never stopped developing a system on social media. In building a network of passionate people that loves to entertain, coach, help others, and deliver informative information to the public, informally, in a low-cost production. She built a platform that surpassed Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media live streaming, but exceeded the function of a podcast. Her main goal is to be able to broadcast on social media like a traditional TV setup involving a group of broadcasters, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media live streamers. Maria is building the confidence of non-actors and non-famous people that joins her to network. We are here to promote and support one another, to help our community grow collectively without inhibitions but with confidence and high self-esteem. We love to be in this family together. Our door is open to help you build your brand, opening opportunities for others, and outreach to our community. We welcome you to the family of social media shows.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
Social media shows network were initiated in 2017. Since then, our founder Maria Pureza never stopped developing a system on social media. In building a network of passionate people that loves to entertain, coach, help others, and deliver informative information to the public, informally, in a low-cost production. She built a platform that surpassed Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media live streaming, but exceeded the function of a podcast. Her main goal is to be able to broadcast on social media like a traditional TV setup involving a group of broadcasters, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media live streamers. Maria is building the confidence of non-actors and non-famous people that joins her to network. We are here to promote and support one another, to help our community grow collectively without inhibitions but with confidence and high self-esteem. We love to be in this family together. Our door is open to help you build your brand, opening opportunities for others, and outreach to our community. We welcome you to the family of social media shows.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went.
Welcome back to Let's Talk World. That is an ass long break. And we had time to actually drink our tea. See, tea are very healing drink. What do you call it now? Therapeutic drink. Actually, it's soothen your throat. Just put your lime in it and honey. I ran out of honey. So if you guys want to donate some honey, we are accepting donations. Anyways, thank you so much guys for all those tuned in. Let's Talk World is about featuring different types of people who are passionate of what they do, and we have Mr. Rand Allen as our featured guest this week. And as you know, all know that we are in social distancing, but you know what? If you are protected with the high power, I believe that you are protected. And if you know, I'm not saying that you cannot cut anything. You can, but you know, I still, my strong faith is the one that's protecting me from anything, sickness and everything else in the world. That's how I believe in, and that's actually what I'm saying is connected to what you are master on, which is Reiki. But I'm not a Reiki master, but I am still trying to figure out if how, you know, how do I accept Reiki, because I have a lot of questions, but I'm not gonna put you on the hot seat on that. Because I have
I'll answer what I can.
I have a lot of wanted to ask actually. You are from New York, right?
Yeah, upstate.
How long you been here in Vegas?
Since '03, so like 17 years.
17
now.
years? Wow, and you like it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good
There's
for
a
you.
huge spiritual community here. A lot of light workers.
Yeah.
A lot of vampires too. So maybe
There's a
that's
lot
why
of
there's
vampires?
Energetic vampires.
Oh, okay.
Not real vampires.
Oh, okay.
Just people who
You just,
know.
you know, I
we-
love vampires,
Yeah, we all love vampires.
but I'm not a vampire.
But you don't want to hang out with a vampire.
Why not?
An energetic vampire, because you may have noticed, and probably some of you as well, that you meet someone, you hang around them, and you realize you just start feeling blah, or you start feeling like depressed, and they're probably an
Really?
energetic vampire. And
Really?
they're
Because
drawing you
no
down.
matter what I actually, you know, I'm very energetic, as you probably noticed that. I am energetic. I am a very positive person. No matter how negative people around me or how negative the situation is, I turn it around into a positive one.
That's
I
good.
always does that. And I was actually listening with your show earlier with the Fab Life, and you said people perceive you as negative when you say something, and I want to shout. I want to actually scream from behind the camera when you said that, but I was like, I'm just gonna actually bring it into my show. So
Okay.
I just want to kind of clarify that part. You said that you are, when you say something, it's not being negative, something like that. To
Yeah,
that effect.
it's more seeing deeper into it and speaking of the clarity of it, which unfortunately a lot of the spiritual, uh, there's like a lot of spiritual narcissism and gaslighting kind of co-opted into the spiritual movement, and when you bring the light to that, people, you know, they don't want to hear it. So of course they want to label you, oh, you're just negative, or you're just angry, or you're full of fear. And I'm like, no, I'm just clear. And so they're the ones who are trying to put up a wall because they don't want to have their thought paradigm broken.
So yeah.
So,
Let me ask you this. For example, give me some example because I'm trying to see if I am that negative or I'm that positive person that you're talking about. Because what I heard you said earlier about when you when there is a kind of like an issue, I normally tell people that okay, so we need to move on from that issue, right? We need to move on to become positive, but at the same time I always tell my people, okay, so what's the problem? So they tell me the problem. I don't want to hear that problem again. What I want to hear next is the solution. Am I connecting of what you were saying earlier? So
yeah.
I was
Well,
I can, when you were said being narcissist, I'm kind of like feeling like I'm narcissist, but I'm not, because I'm still actually looking on that issue, because that's the base. We cannot come up with a solution without looking on it. But I just don't want people keep on going and going again and again and again about the problem without actually coming up on different option to
well,
solve the problem.
I think a whole part of that is the emotional attachment to it on either side of it, because you can get hung up on the fear or the anger or the frustration that you have a problem, or you can just relax, take a breath, and then logically look at what's the problem, how do we fix it, get past this problem, and move on to where there's no
Solution.
problems, the solution.
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to see problems because I'm such a MacGyver at fixing things. I see problems as like an obstacle course, an exciting obstacle course. I don't see problems as inherently negative or
A
with fear.
hindrance to your
I just say,
future.
okay, wow, something cool to figure out a way around. There's a whole different mindset there.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and the people that are not, so it's how they're choosing to see it, and then but a lot of people get caught up in the ability to make excuses to not see it, in the
yeah.
first place,
Yeah.
and then they run right into that wall because there's a problem that they didn't acknowledge.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
there's a give and a take. So like everything, the truth always hides right in the middle.
Okay, now actually that's actually clarify of you just clarify actually. Now earlier is I see you as just well, I didn't see you, but I seen what I kind of like looking at what you said earlier. I felt like, oh, okay, this guy is one of those guys that that's just like keep on going and going about the problem without looking on solution. Now I'm looking at you on different level. I felt like you are actually a problem solver. Is that make sense?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
are.
big time.
Yes, you're a
And-
problem
and
solver.
it's not like I'm looking for problems, but as soon as I solve a problem,
No, you're not looking
I
for
mean,
problems. It
because
comes up.
it's almost like I actually I get excited to fix problems. So there's no
Exactly, yeah.
fear or anger there, and
Yeah,
the world's
and they
got a lot of
perceive
things
you
that
like,
need fixing.
yeah.
So let's remove all of that negative connotation to it, and
Exactly.
the negative energy, and which people seem to want to hang on to, but yet they're pointing the finger at you when you're not. I'm not hanging on to it. I'm just solving the problem, excited about the process of solving the problem, and then looking for the next thing to do. Why? Because that's what I do really well. So, but they don't understand that. They're like really, I guess, in fear or just not comprehending, because problems for them are maybe much more overwhelming than
Yes.
the person who doesn't take that approach to
Yes.
problems.
Yes.
Whereas it's just like, let's get through this.
Exactly.
Bang through it to the other side.
Yes. Yes. Now, yeah. Now
So-
I can, like what I said. I kind of see a little.
That's why I'm a cosmic MacGyver, because I just,
Yeah.
I fix things. I'm kind of getting good at it.
I love I love fixing things. I'm a problem solver, and I always tell other people like, okay, what's the problem? Okay, and then I said, all right, so what's the solution? And when they trying to go on the solution and bringing up the problem, I said, we're actually established that we established the problem. Now let's talk about other solution. And I can see what you were saying earlier, that they see you as negative, and they see me as a negative in that manner too. Somebody told me that you're so negative. I said, no, I'm looking on the
No, it's not
solution.
negative, because really, I mean, honestly, to really have a lasting solution, you want to take the problem and deconstruct it into its pieces, use fractal thinking, look into it, look at the pieces, look at the actual part that's broken and how it interacts with the other pieces.
Yep.
And then you will understand how to actually fix that piece and probably even realize that it needs to be upgraded so it doesn't break again. That's a good mindset.
Yep.
That's not embracing fear or
No.
anger or
No.
negativity. That's just logically fixing something so you don't got to have that problem ever again.
Yep,
you know?
exactly.
So there's no, I don't understand or relate to all of that rationale that people hang up on, because it's like they're trying to create an argument or a
Exactly.
sidebar on something that doesn't need it. It's a problem. Fix it. Let's move on.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
But fixing it requires
I
totally
like
understanding
that.
it, and then boom, you will fix it, and you won't have that problem anymore. Now you'll be off to fixing other things, but
Exactly.
you're going higher every time you fix those things, right? So you can get hung up on the process of fixing that problem, or you can just
Move
relax
on.
into it, you know, and get your flow state on and get her done.
I like that. Let me ask you this question, because as a problem solver, I put things according to priority, right?
Okay.
All right. So when you, like, let's say, especially in life and especially in my production, we have like 100 million other things that's a problem,
Of course.
right?
Murphy's
So
Law.
and um, and I see it all because I am the leader of this production, and all the other collaborators he'll see bits of those things that I see. I see the whole picture. They don't understand that I see that, and then they come up with this other small thing, and I literally keep on telling everybody. I said, "Do you think I don't know that problems?" And they ask me, "Why you never fix it?" It's because there's a priority. That problem, I will cross that bridge when I know it's fixable at that time. At this point, let me give you an example. When we started this production, the very first week and month, I think the first month, we don't have camera, we don't have lights, we don't have green screen, we don't have microphones, so they cannot hear us well, right? And people, and microphone alone actually costs over $100. And they came to me and said the sound is not good. I said I know that, and they're like, so we're not fixing it. I'm like, and I'm broke at the time, so I don't have anything. So I said, would you donate it? And she said no. Then we'll cross that problem when we get there.
Exactly. Yep.
Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. You know, you build it as you go.
Exactly.
And if you build it, they will come. And now
Thank
you got all
you.
sorts of equipment, and you're doing amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But anyways, let's get back to you, not me. Because me, I already had so much shows in the past and so much shows in the future that I'll be talking about me. So let's go back to you.
What do you want to know?
So, well, being a sci-fi fan.
Yeah, it's totally. I mean, it's a big part of who I am. It's what makes me me is the fact that I embrace technology, and I'm kind of irritated I can't play with it because I know a lot of it's real, even though it's still shown to us on Sci-Fi Channel. There's technology is amazing. Of course, there's the dark side of it, the AI, and which
Are you a
we're-
computer
we're-
savvy?
Yeah, I'm pretty computer savvy. I'm not a hacker or anything like that. Like, I can't write code. I'm not a programmer. Actually wish I was, because those guys could rule the world if they wanted to. Yeah, the whole AI thing has kind of got me concerned. Actually, I didn't mention on the other show, but the latest season of Westworld, the whole show, the latest.
What is Westworld?
Westworld
It's a
it was
series?
an old school show or movie about this amusement park that was filled with robots, and you could do anything. You could kill them, and because they were robots, but they looked just like people. Well, they redid the series and really modernized it, and it's the writing is really avant-garde, because it's about a quantum AI that starts to basically dictate humanity to itself, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that it creates for us, and then we basically have to abide by it.
Do you
It's a real interesting concept.
do you believe that when this coronavirus came out, I literally tell my coworkers at that time that before they closed down the what do you call that now, the Las Vegas Boulevard, I told my coworkers that this is not happening. This is not real. This is not happening. I will go to I will go to the Las Vegas Boulevard tonight and kiss every single one, and I'm gonna bring my camera and I'm gonna videotape myself. And they start laughing at me. I said, "Are you gonna do it?" "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." But anyways, and then I said, I told my coworkers that I think this is just another, or this is gonna be a surrogates movie. That's why I came up with surrogates. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: why a lot of people haven't seen surrogates? Because we have a meeting at that time before we close down our workplace, and we have like probably 20 people in there. I told them, I think this is just replacement of human being with robots, like the surrogates. And all of them said, "What is surrogates?" Why did he?
I
You
saw it
never
twice.
seen it?
Oh, that was a good movie. Very relevant. It had a lot of interesting parallels to what could be our future if we don't get our shift together.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. See, I said
So-
that in the beginning.
And that's actually, Westworld really takes that to a whole nother level yet.
Oh.
So that's why I mentioned it, yeah, because Surrogates was kind of started it out. But Westworld is definitely on that vein too. And even Devs, this new TV, there's a lot of TV shows out there that have little snippets of very, very uncanny parallels to what is happening or could very well be happening in terms of AI and how it's
What is
so
AI?
AI is artificial intelligence.
Okay, that's
And
what I was thinking.
it's we have quantum computers now that are so powerful.
What is quantum computers?
It's a new type of computer that computes at a level that's hard for people to even comprehend. It has the ability to. I
Like
believe
the human or robot? No.
way more. I mean, they're saying we haven't reached the 0 point yet where we've created a computer that's as smart as the human mind. Well, I think that is just public consumption. I think we have created a computer that is dramatically smarter than the human mind a long time ago. And if we're not careful, it's going to see us as the virus, pun intended. And
Really?
just like,
I'm not
Skynet,
scared. I'm excited.
just like The Matrix, just like Terminator.
I'm excited.
So, yeah, I think there's some interesting stuff happening. And
You
there's-
believe that?
Oh, yeah. And there's a
Really?
lot of data points that start to really bring this to light, too, and make it seem like that is actually what's...
So who is gonna be the Terminator?
Well, there might be more humans involved for a while then. But have you heard of the Internet of Things?
What's that?
The Internet of Things is a new technology that's relatively in the last 10 years where basically almost all electronics have chips in them to where they can access the internet, and they basically talk amongst themselves and then to a database somewhere. So think about it. While you're in your house, your electronics are basically tracking you or keeping somewhat of an
Alexa.
informational database on you. Alexa as well. But now there's talk that this virus, which obviously isn't even remotely what they said it was, it's barely more than a typical flu, hasn't even caught up to the H1N1 yet in terms of death and mortality rates. But yet they want to roll out this state-of-the-art vaccine, because I've been looking at some of the cutting-edge information on this, that actually has almost like nanites in it, like a smart dust.
Mm-hmm.
And once that's in us, we're going to be a part of the Internet of Things. So that means that it can track you. When you go to stores and there's those things that you walk through as you go in and out those things can track. Will now be able to track you. They'll know every time you entered and exited the store. Because up until now, if you carried your wallet with the credit cards in it and your phone, they tracked you that way. But there's a lot of people getting smart and they're putting, weird envelopes and stuff over their electronics and their wallets. With credit cards that have those chips, and those are the things that actually talk to those things. So if you shield them, now you can move around without being detected. Well,
Wow.
once we're implanted with this state-of-the-art vaccine, we'll be basically ratting ourselves out everywhere we go. They'll be tracking us
But
everywhere.
I want, yeah,
And I'll
but
have the ability to track us everywhere. And with 5G at all the light poles, they'll know where you are on the streets. They'll have real-time tracking of almost all humans, and I'll have put the device inside of us to do it. And it's known as the Internet of Things, and it's through this new vaccine. And that sounds crazy, but there's a whole lot of real science that actually supports it. And yes, there really is a virus, but also I think it's becoming quite obvious that 5G, and if you've really read up on the science behind 5G, it very likely has the ability to dramatically exacerbate a flu and make it significantly worse by creating an acute respiratory inflammatory response, which if you already had a flu setting in, it would hit the turbo button on it, which explains a whole lot of things. So anyone that says there is no flu is foolish and they're naive. And anyone who says that 5G isn't related is probably foolish and naive, because every day there's more and more information proving that there's a significant correlation between the two. Because it's funny.
Really?
I would meet all these camps to say this and that, and then I was like, what if it's answer D, all the above? What if you're all right, but you're all white knuckling your little piece of it, and you think you're right, but you're just partly right, because yeah, there is a virus.
do you think?
And it's not a super deadly one, but when you mix 5G with it, now all of a sudden it can be a super deadly one. And what's cool is, not cool, it's actually malevolent. What if they can actually add a signal to 5G and that makes the virus much worse, much quicker, but they can turn it on and turn it off wherever they want. And if you've read up on 5G, you know that it's far more aimable than its predecessors. So yeah, the science is starting to really show up that makes it say that this was a really well thought out, ingenious agenda. And here we are, all stuck in our houses. The economy's melting down. The world's going to hell in a handbasket. And
I'm just so happy that we are staying at home. Actually, this is the time for rejuvenation, like what I was talking on my women empowerment show yesterday. It is rejuvenation. It is see, the ozone layer is actually
yeah,
healing itself.
coming back fast.
Yeah,
It's
the
amazing.
the smog on the air is has disappeared in LA. Those are actually good things to know. And also, I started having so much time for myself doing my shows. Those are the positive things about this. What's going on?
Definitely some silver linings.
Yes,
So,
there are silver
and it'd be
linings.
interesting, when we finally do go back, if we keep that in mind and we make some changes and don't go back to the way it was. I mean, I actually, we're already past that point. It's never going to be the way it was. There's businesses that will never recover from this. There's a whole lot of people that are going to be poor and destitute and may never recover from this. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out the other side of this. But hopefully people will take away some of the good stuff and realize that there's some changes that need to be made, and for humanity's sake,
Yeah,
as well as our own personal sakes, we need to start thinking globally.
I believe that, and I totally agree with you on that. I think it's, I just don't want to talk about this, about coronavirus. It's just, we hear it a lot. You know what I mean? I just want to, we still gonna talk about coronavirus, but I want to talk to you about the 5G that you were talking about. So do you believe that Wuhan has the 5G? That's why they had that virus. Let me rephrase it. Where do you think the coronavirus really came from? From the eating the bat soup or 5G?
No, none of the above. I think the coronavirus was created in a lab, engineered purposely, and I think it was leaked purposely. I think they created it in a lab purposely, but also knew that they could dial it up and make it worse in certain areas due to the 5G. See, that's what gives them the control. And they would have never released, I don't think, first off, I don't believe in coincidences on planet Earth. It doesn't happen. Everything like that, 9/11, all these things that are blatant false flags, and this coronavirus is blatantly a false flag. Don't get me wrong, there is a virus and people are dying, and that's the horrible part of it, but it was all done premeditated. And the evidence is coming out in droves now, and it's interconnecting. It has confluence, which is what actually shows you where the truth lies, is when you see real confluent data that keeps connecting. When you follow when you dig into lies, they usually fall short and disconnect. Why? Because they're lies. So the truth usually fits and keeps showing you the truth. So there's a whole lot of us now after, because you try not to have an opinion in the beginning and just let the data come in, and at a certain point it starts to become obvious there's an agenda here. There really is an agenda here. The virus was created. It was also probably known that they could actually ramp it up in certain areas, like Italy, where there's a huge 5G rollout. Wuhan, where the city's covered in it. There's one guy who put out a video, and it's funny, you'll never see any of this stuff on mainstream media, because the same people who basically, the global cabal, owns our media as well in the United States. So you're not going to see anything truly enlightening on the nightly news. But there's independent sources coming forward and people making videos, where this one guy, he found a internet speed test site that at the bottom of it had a tab where it said 5G, and when you click on it, it showed a global heat map of all of the 5G towers, basically the density of the 5G signal. And he said it was uncanny how it basically is the same exact map as the coronavirus heat map outbreaks. So Wuhan was, huge. Italy was huge, tons of 5G. And certain cruise ships where they had really bad episodes were the newly upgraded 5G cruise ships. And I had a friend who was on a cruise ship going around South America, and I warned her not to go, and she said, "Oh, I'll be fine." And she got halfway through and took an emergency flight and came home, but she'd already started to figure out that her boat only had 3G and wasn't going to upgrade to 5, but she didn't want to take any chances just because they were quarantining boats at San Diego, and she was worried she'd get stuck. So
you don't highly recommend 5G?
Well, here's the thing about 5G. It's just a number in a letter. Who knows what it actually is? I mean, we're hearing that 5G. I mean, yes, we know what they're calling 5G, but they can, the equipment gives them the ability to kind of piggyback other signals in with it, and that could be exactly why we're having this weird issue with coronavirus.
Who created 5G? Who created 4G, 2G, those kind of thing? I thought it's all about, it is the Microsoft, Microsoft, is it?
He probably has something to do with
IBM?
it. I don't know.
Now I'm curious, because I think that's the only way you can kind of connect, if it's real connected to the virus or something. I don't know, but what do you guys think? Anyways, any final thoughts before we go?
I don't know. I'm optimistic. I hope things work out through this. It's going to be an interesting ride. There's a whole. I mean, we could talk for days about.
I know. I
what's
love
behind
it.
the scenes of all this, because there's.
He should have actually his own show about all this computer and everything. We'll talk more about that.
There might be some good guys trying to take back the tech and make it so it's not so bad. So I'm just putting some energy that way, hoping that that's the case.
Yeah, well, I hope it's not. I like what I said. Whatever it is, it's if something that I cannot control, I don't worry about it. I just actually hang on to my faith, because I think it's healthier than that way for me. I tend to something that I cannot control right now. Maybe I can control it later, then I will do a move. But until I can't, it's actually behind my mind.
In a way, you do have. I mean, what you're doing right now is a interesting way of creating some level of control. Because here's the thing: when there is negative technology that's affecting us, the minute we all become aware of it, our collective consciousness will help make sure that actually doesn't hurt us anymore. So by you doing shows and helping spread awareness, you are helping to actually alleviate a problem, because it's going to take a revolution of awareness to change humanity.
I think I like that. I'm gonna start using that Revolution of awareness. I think I like that.
Actually, I renamed it instead of revolution. I call it We Love Yushin.
We love Yushin.
I
I
just
think that's
respelled
your.
it instead of
I think that's
revolution.
the next show of social media shows. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something about our talk today. I hope you guys become aware of what's happening around you, and I hope that it inspires you for anything that we talk about. That's our main goal here on social media shows, especially here at Let's Talk World, is to give you guys awareness. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys again next week. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube accounts and our social media accounts. I love you guys all. Bye now. Thank you for watching Let's Talk World. I hope you enjoyed our featured guests for the day. Please visit us on socialmediashows.com, subscribe on our channel on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't forget to share and like and comment on our show. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again next week.